Hello, everybody. Cujo06241 here, and with me is Super BWB. Introduce yourself.
You already did, so...
Well, okay then, now that that's out of the way, we are going to be doing another interview on Rising Downfall, which is a story that you've written, and are still writing, actually, and, sending me the chapters to make me read it, have me read it, excuse me, and we're gonna be talking about chapters 6 through 9. Okay. Question.
Yes.
What the fuck is supposed to be going on? Okay, what the fuck? Like, in chapter 6, the last thing I remember is the character Gil broke out of prison, and what happened to the other guys? Because there were other guys, didn't it? Did they like run away or just leave them there or something?
They tossed them on a train and they went in the other direction to try to get the guards off of them. And there goes his phone.
Whatever. Okay. Alright, anyway, in chapter 6, he meets, like, a pack of wolves, and, like, does he become one? Because it's very vague on what happens to him. Because I know he joins the tribe, but does he, like, turn into a wolf? I mean, this is a guy that can turn into a dragon, so why can't he turn into a wolf? You know? Just kind of touch upon that. Does he turn into a wolf too?
Well, if you have read the chapter, then yes, he does.
Oh, well, that's cool. I did read it. That's why I'm asking. Something though that I gotta address is that it's. I'm gonna save it for after we get more into it. I couldn't find chapter 7, but I know a big character that was introduced in 6 dies, like the pack leader or something, or like
the pack leader does not die.
No, it was a big name though. It was like there's so many names for these wolves, and that's something else I gotta say. I give you credit for. They have some pretty cool names, like Kimba.
Yeah, that's the one you're probably talking about.
That might be, yeah. You have Melinda, which was like a female.
Yeah.
You have
yes.
a what? A she-wolf?
A she-wolf.
A she-wolf. Okay. You also have what's his face? The young one that Shang. Yeah, Shang, like Shang Tsung, but not Shang Tsung. Shang. I don't know how I keep forgetting that. And there's also that asshole wolf. That
Barkley.
Barkley?
Yeah.
What, like Charles Barkley?
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah, and he becomes really distrusting of Gil because
he's different.
He's different, and then this incident with the hunters or something. That's what they brought Gil in for, was to help him with the hunters. And like I said, I couldn't find chapter 7, so I'm not sure how, but a big name. I'm thinking it might be Kimba. He dies, and
yes.
Barkley gets really, really pissed off and just says, oh, I knew I shouldn't have trusted you. So Gil says, all right, I'm going, and then Shane goes with him, and that's how chapter 8 ends. And then chapter 9, you guys, Gil and
boy, you're really all over the place, aren't you?
Well, I told you I read it. They end up in Dragon City. Touch upon that a little bit. Where'd you get the inspiration for Dragon City?
Facebook.
Okay.
Let's say long ago, I used to, I normally don't be on Facebook like a lot of people would be. The only reason I will be on Facebook from time to time is just to play that game, Dragon City.
I could tell because you would send me invites a lot.
That's what I've been trying to do, just to get more prizes and stuff. I already knew that people wasn't going to do that.
Yeah, well, that's another story. So, Dragon City, they meet 2 more new characters. 2 new characters introduced. Names.
Miguel and Jack.
Miguel and what?
Jack.
Where did those names come from?
Not anywhere specific, just Out of idea. Out of naming idea.
So like, it didn't come from Miguel Cabrera, and Jack didn't come from like Jack the Ripper or something.
No.
Or Jack Kevorkian or Jack Nicholson.
None of the above. Jack Nicholson. None of the above.
Well, that'd be very interesting, Jack Nicholson. If he was like a
I'll take that into account.
If he was a psychopathic dragon, it would fit perfect.
It would.
Anyway, so they meet, and I was kind of rushing, so I may have missed a few things, but the bottom line in Chapter 9 is he meets these two new dragons. Do they know that technically Gil is like a hybrid, like a half wolf, half human, half dragon? Do they know this, or
not until later?
Okay, I'm not gonna ask how they're gonna react because that's probably a major spoiler, and I'm not gonna do that.
Gil doesn't tell them because if you were
because of fear, he's afraid they won't accept him.
No, amnesia.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, in the beginning of Chapter 9, it was revealed that he was getting amnesia because of all the tragic things he kept seeing at a young age.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, amnesia, more like PTSD,
something like
post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah. Okay.
And so it was a totally different subject here, and Miguel didn't even ask why or how. He just figured it'll help him start a new life from previous life that he once had. He wants to stay and begin life anew.
All right. Sorry. Okay. So it's like PTSD and amnesia, like kind of mixing together, and it's fucking with him, so he can't remember. That's interesting. And it also sets up pretty well with how we're gonna react to it later. Well, that being said, does he like not remember that he's like a hybrid, or does he?
No, he does not.
He doesn't. Okay, but he remembers the only thing he remembers is like his name. So
yeah,
he doesn't
his
have
name and Shang's name.
Okay, and Shang, and obviously Miguel and Jack.
Yes.
Or is he not gonna remember them either?
I mean,
at least give me that.
I mean, he remembers them.
Okay.
He met them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Obviously, but like you're telling me he has PTSD, amnesia, mixture.
Yeah.
PTSD, amnesia, whatever you want to call it.
I will tell you eventually he does get it back. But how he does it, I can't tell you.
Well, don't, because that's a major.
It's a spoiler.
Spoiler. Yeah. Okay. So. All right. Something else I really like is how they interact. They interact like they've known each other a long time. Is that something you did on purpose? Did you want these characters to seem like they had known each other a long time?
Which characters are we talking about?
Jack, Miguel, Shang, and Gil.
Well, not really.
No, it's just something that happened by accident.
You can say that, yeah.
Okay.
It's just that chemistry. Jack had his doubts, and he always wanted Miguel to like think things through, because I will say that Miguel has a habit of
being hard-headed.
That, and having a habit of helping people with their problems, even though it's not his own. He will rush into things head first.
Okay. Well, all right. Now, for what I said earlier, that I wanted to make a quick comparison. You know what this really is starting to make me think about?
What?
The Wizard of Oz.
Oh my God!
Yeah, the Wizard of Oz. Because you have this character, you have Gil. He's going on this journey, and he's meeting people along the way, and he's becoming friends with them, and like they're joining in on it. Kind of like Dorothy, she meets Scarecrow, and then Tin Man, and then was it the Lion?
The Lion.
I haven't seen the movie in a long time, but yeah, and she's got Toto and everything. So Gil, to me, I'm not gonna say he is like Dorothy, because he's really nothing like Dorothy. For starters, Dorothy never went to jail.
True.
You know, and Dorothy,
True.
obviously Dorothy's a girl, and I'm pretty sure Gil's a guy. In fact, I know for sure he's a guy. But yeah, it's actually. I mean, was that something you did on purpose, or is that just one hell of a coincidence?
I was not thinking it was a when I'm reading this stuff.
Okay, so it's just one hell of a coincidence.
I guess it's a
Well, a lot of stories take their inspiration from, other stories. And that's the point of being inspired, At least it's not like a rehashing. Like, how many times has Frankenstein been remade, or how many Frankenstein movies are out there, or vampire movies, or werewolves, or whatever.
True.
Yeah. So, that's, excuse me, that's about all I have. That's about all. I'm sorry. The Wizard of Oz. Okay, okay. That's about all I have to ask. Those are all the questions. Anything else you want to say about this?
Well, as I commented earlier, you was pretty much all over the place with the chapters and stuff. But I was saying in chapter 6, he gets separated from the friends that he had made from the prison. The train.
Yeah. And then he ran into that wolf pack, and
he learns to.
He had to fight for his spot. I do remember that. He fight for his spot. Because I've read these in such a short time, so I haven't had a lot of time to really think about them. And that's why I've been a little all over the place, because there's just so much to take in. I had such a short time to work with because I've been doing other things.
Well, let me tell you this: he was able to talk with them because they gave him a little seed.
Yeah, they gave him like some kind of fruit or seed that a wolf seed. Yeah, and he ate it, and all of a sudden he can understand them.
Pretty much that. And with Barker and he immediately doesn't like him because he's different. And
so he's kind of like a racist, the guy you just love to hate. Well, he's prejudiced in some sort of way. Okay, maybe not racist, but he's prejudiced.
Yeah, you could say that. And then he meets the alpha male and the alpha female, which is Ahmed and Melinda. And then there's Shane, the soon-to-be alpha, but he was only a pup back then.
So he's kind of like Weed in that anime you had me watch.
Yes.
Jinga Genitsu Weed or something.
Yes.
Yeah, the only thing I can think about whenever I hear that is marijuana. But all right. Well, I have no further questions. If you have nothing to add, then, or do you?
Yeah, I was going to continue talking on for a little bit. And we're not going to be on this for much longer. We'll say a few more things.
All right, well, go ahead. All right.
Then he tested on. I may have tested Gil's strength a little bit, decided to install him into the pack, and then 2 years passed, and then him and Shane were playing, and then Shane accidentally bites him, and all of a sudden he turns into a wolf. No, he's not a werewolf. He is a wolf. He's able to shift back and forth on his own.
Oh.
And since he is a wolf, he's bestowed with wolf training. And he's able to dig, run faster than he ever been, sniff around, and howl.
Well, okay. You wanna, instead of recapping everything we just talked about, why don't you tell us what happens in chapter 7? Because, like I said, I missed that one, but I know a big part of I know a major character in the.
That was pretty much what's the beginning of chapter 7. I was just talking about.
Oh well, okay, go ahead.
And and later on into the story, Barkley finally challenges Gil to a battle because he pretty much couldn't stand him, and Gil keeps telling him not to do it, and that he was underestimating him, and he was actually strong for a little wolf, and he pretty much kicked his ass. And that's when Barkley finally found respect for him, because he claims that nobody has ever bested him in battle before. And they finally came to terms to like each other. And that's when the hunters came.
And they killed, well, I don't remember exactly, but I think it's Kimba.
Yeah, Gil accidentally gets into a bear trap. And the hunter readies his gun, and Kimba takes the blow, tries to redirect the fire by grabbing the gun, but he ends up getting shot in the side.
Oh,
And Gil
alright.
kills the hunter, but he was too late to try
Yeah,
to
yeah,
bandage up the
the
wound, and
bullets
Kimba
already. Yeah,
Kimba
alright.
actually bleeds out and dies.
Oh, that's gruesome. And then he leaves because he's, you know.
Gil was in self doubt and depression yet again.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, self doubt, depression.
he couldn't do anything
Couldn't
to
do
save
nothing.
him,
Yeah.
and Ahmed tells him that everyone was thinking of exiling him from the pack, was banishing him from the pack, and Gil was planning on leaving himself. And that's when it's revealed is that why Barkley was so upset, because it was revealed that Kimba was his brother.
Yeah. Yeah, plot twist.
And then Gil packs up his stuff and leaves, and then Shane volunteers to go with him.
Yeah.
And then well, first off, they went to go check on the hunters and see what was taking them so long. And then they saw they were fighting some eastern wolves, and then all of a sudden a tentacle monster was fighting them. They're getting absorbed and they're dying.
So much shit going on. It's no wonder I couldn't remember everything, you know.
And then the rush bag, and Ahmed is cussing them out and stuff. Well, not cussing them out. I'm just being silly. And so
Yeah.
he's telling them, and then the tentacle monster is attacking the village, and Shane's parents ends up getting absorbed in there. Gil had no choice but to slice them up and kill them. And then it's just them two walking through the forest and all that stuff. And then that's when Gil was developing amnesia. And that's when they hit the Dragon City. And that's pretty much the end of chapter 9. Well, which we already discussed from earlier.
Yeah. Alright. Well, that's about all the time we have. For Super BWB, I'm Cujo06241.
And tune in next time when we have a part 3 of this interview, when that time comes.
Yep. Alright. We are
Out of time.